From LEX 18, your official UK sports station for Big Blue Nation, this is BBN Tonight. Presented by Central Bank, the official bank of UK athletics.
Welcome to BBN Tonight. I'm Keith Farmer.
And I'm Mary Jo Perino. Tonight, COVID-19 hits the Kentucky football team even harder.
And we'll talk UK men's and women's basketball as both teams have finally begun playing this week. Now, at last word, the Kentucky football game with Florida is still on for tomorrow, but the pandemic has really been hitting the Cats hard. That's tonight's Big Blue story presented by Baptist Health. On Wednesday, Coach Mark Stoops said he has 18 players and 10 staff members out due to injuries, COVID-19 or contact tracing.
And as I mentioned over and over again, to say it's not strange, that's an understatement. I mean, every day you're just holding on. I mean, every time my trainer and Dan Breswitz come walking down my hall, I'm like, please stay away. Trying to keep my distance from those guys, and we're getting people dinged a couple times a day.
Mary Jo, I think really, though, if you look at it, Kentucky's been pretty fortunate throughout this season. We've seen so many problems with other programs, and it's just hitting them here at the end of the year.
Yeah, thankfully, they've, gotten every game off without a hook, but it's tough. I can't imagine being in Mark's position where you're just see an injury happen, so you're not prepared for that player to maybe miss a game. And now that they've even dealt with a false positive, perhaps it's got to be so frustrating for him and other coaches. But fingers crossed the game goes off without a hitch tomorrow. Let's turn to basketball, Keith, because Wednesday night sure was a lot of fun. The Cats opened up their season against Morehead State in front of, about 3,075 people at Rupp Arena and about 800 cardboard cutouts. In the first half, you get things started. It was awesome.
Isaiah Jackson had a quick start, 7 points, finished with 9. Cats built a double-digit lead on the Davion Mintz three-pointer. The transfer had 10 points, 3 assists. Morehead State big man Johnny Broome was one of 2 Eagles with 11 in the game. But Devin Askew showed his speed as he finishes on the layup for part of his 12 points. Cats were up 45-26 at the half. Extended that as Terrence Clark hit the floater. He had 12 points. Olivier Sarr did pretty much all of his damage in the second half, 8 points and 3 rebounds. But B.J. Boston led the way with 15 points and 7 boards. UK wins that opener 81-45. And here's what Coach Cal and Cameron Fletcher, maybe the biggest surprise, had to say. He had 9 points off the bench, by the way.
What I was encouraged about is we look like an organized basketball team. 10 new guys, never played together, never played for me. We went 40 days of torture, yet they came out. And again, I got 2 or 3 guys that have to create new habits. And if I can get that, I like this group.
It was game time, so my adrenaline was just running, and I just knew I had to just play hard and everything else would fall in place.
Mary Jo, I thought this team looked really good for being 100% new players. I mean, we didn't have Keon Brooks out there. But I thought they looked really good. And Cameron Fletcher, when you have a player that steps up like that and shows his coach something he hasn't seen, that's pretty good too.
Yeah, they were a really cohesive unit. I was also really impressed with Devin Askew. I'm excited to see what he looks like against a really senior-laden team in Richmond, but I thought he handled the point guard position really well. Cameron Fletcher wasn't doing that stuff in practice. He did it in the game. Cal says maybe I got to get him in now more. So definitely a lot of fun to watch.
Well, speaking of point guard, Terrence Clark may be lighting up the scoreboard, but the freshman guard spent some time on Wednesday night's game at the point. Time will tell if we'll see more of that, but Clark says he'll be ready if needed.
As much as the team needs me to do it, I think we have a great point guard in Devin Askew, and Davion Mintz is also our backup point guard too. But I mean, I've been playing the 2 here, and whenever the team needs me to play the 1, I'll be as comfortable and confident as I need to be there too. So I've had reps in practice with it too. So today I went out there and had some reps at the 1.
I mean, Coach Cal even mentioned it, Mary Jo, that you've got so many guards that when they get a rebound, they can just go. So Terrence Clark can take off with it if he gets a rebound. Brandon Boston. I think that's what makes this team dangerous.
Gosh, that's what I was really impressed with, some of their fast break play, because they were, lightning quick down to the other end. And I don't expect that we're going to see Terrence Clark running the point much in the traditional sense, but a lot of these guys are positionless players, as we've talked about before. So, like you said, fast break, that's a good opportunity for him to take charge too. Let's turn to the Kentucky women, because they also had their opener. The number 11 Wildcats battled against in-state foe Murray State without Ryan Howard or Tatiana Wyatt. Talk more about their suspensions in a minute, but the team didn't miss them for this game. First quarter, Chastity Patterson knocked down a three for UK's first points of the year, but her range seemed to have no limit, scoring 21 of her game-high 30 points. The UK defense was on another level. They forced 32 turnovers. That turned into 40 points. The Cats gave Kyra Elzy her first victory as a head coach with an 86-60 season opening win.
So honored to coach here, get my first win, but it's bigger than me. A lot of people put in a lot of hard work in order for us to take the floor, surrounded by an amazing staff with Coach Butts, Coach Amber, and Daniel Boyce, and all the support staff that pour into the players to make today and all other games possible.
Keith, very happy for Coach Elzy. This has been, as we all know, a strange year, and the transition happened so quickly. So to get her first win under her belts, I'm thrilled for her.
And you kind of mentioned this, but while the Wildcats didn't have much difficulty against Murray State, it was also a shock when Big Blue Nation found out just before the game tipped off the suspensions of Ryan Howard and Tatiana Wyatt. Kyra Elzy said it hurt not having those two starters on the floor, but she had to set the tone for discipline on her way to her first victory as head coach.
It's a very difficult decision. We have not played basketball since March. You want everybody to take the floor. We've been dealing with such adversity. You definitely don't want that to happen. But at the end of the day, my job as the leader of this program and our staff is to make sure that our players are held accountable, and they are responsible, and they are ready for the real world. And there is consequences for every decision that is not the right one. So we love them enough. I love them enough not to turn my head when mistakes are made, and we have to make those type of decisions.
Tough decision, but good to see she made it. Now, coming up next on BBN Tonight, we'll chat with UK's defensive line coach.
Yeah, I'll catch up and go one-on-one with Anwar Stewart ahead of tomorrow's game at Florida. Stay with us.